Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. This is the astrological forecast for February 23rd through February 29th of 2020. Now, this is a general reading. So we are dealing with somewhere around 8 billion people on this planet. So if it doesn't seem to apply to you, that's not something to concern yourself with. All readings will not apply to everybody. There are some good things and some bad things that come up. We're only doing a very cursory general reading. For more in-depth reading, you can contact me at innervoiceenterprises@yahoo.ca. Underneath this video, you will see, if you take a look at it, you'll see different ways of getting a hold of me. Not the least of which is contacting me through here. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get your weekly forecast, to like it, and absolutely share it with your friends. You never know, it may help somebody. At least that's the intention on our end. A couple of things to keep in mind to start with. First and foremost, the galactic center is in Sagittarius at this point, and quite frankly, for the next number of years, it will be. So the truth is coming out with a very important additional point. Okay, we also have Neptune is sitting in Pisces, meaning the subconscious is going to play a lot of impact on what's going on with everybody. Okay, we also have this interesting addition where Saturn is in Capricorn. As you can see, don't always speak well. You'll notice also, if you listen to this one, if you listen to last week's, we had problems there too. Unfortunately, we are not perfect. Nobody on the planet that I'm aware of is. So, we start with taking a look at the overview for everybody. Okay. Now, to start with, we have the Empress card inverted, meaning it is time to take a look at what's going on around you. It does mean that you've got to pay attention to the projects you're working on. There's things that are happening where you may find things are stalling a little. All that means is put a little bit more focus on the projects that really matter to you. Now, projects may be business, or they may apply to your home life. Okay. What it boils down to is, if you're feeling stalled in any position, in any part of your life, focus on what you can personally do to make that work a little better. Aries, we have the Three of Pentacles. It may be known as the Three of Coins or the Three of Discs, depending on the deck you're using. But it does show that you have what amounts to a promotion coming up, meaning there is a shift in your workload. Okay, the efforts that you've been putting in are coming to bear quite nicely. Okay, and they are finally being rewarded. This shows recognition coming to you. Now, that may be from peers. It could be through your actual employer, or just on the home front, where the effort you've been putting forward is finally being recognized. Taurus, you are in good shape. Okay, this is the Ten of Wands, indicating stress. In this case, because it's inverted, it does show a decrease in stress, meaning you're getting things brought back into balance. The things you've been worrying about, you're either managing to put aside because you don't have control over them anyway, or you're managing to find ways to cope with them. A lot of the time, this coping is a question of talking to other people to figure it out. Gemini, you have the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Discs inverted. It is showing an outlay of money. So this could be an investment, because the overall sense of the week is that things are changing. There is a shift happening. And of course, being as we are under a new moon this week, especially the early part of it, if you're born under either a new moon or a full moon, this could be amplified even more. Concentrate on the positive side of what is coming up, because all change does have open doors for it. Okay, So this is the nice thing with Gemini. Of course, the thing you got to remember with Gemini is you do have a tendency of you may have a tendency of jumping on both the good and the bad at the same time. Cancer, there is a wonderful breakthrough coming through this week, some sort of a celebration. What I'm being told is it is tied to the family. Some sort of a disagreement is finally being put to rest. Okay, making the week run a lot more smoothly. So much as you've been going through your own complications, it does show as the weekend approaches, things are going to be a lot more readily available. Okay, a lot more available, a lot more balanced for you. Leo, you may not always get your own way this week. Okay, this is where sometimes permitting a loss to happen, what you see as a loss, works out in your favor. Kind of like a sacrifice play in baseball. Okay, you may have to give a little ground in order to actually get what you're aiming for. The Three of Swords does show a little bit of heartache or disappointment. It does not this week feel like it's a really bad thing. Okay, but you do have a tendency of going a little overboard on occasion where your emotions get involved. Now, if we take a look at Virgo, this is showing the Two of Pentacles inverted, meaning that you are going to have to pay attention to the conflicts around you, to the struggles around you, and really focus on what you've actually got definitive control over. If somebody close to you is having problems, absolutely lend an ear, but understand the best you can do is offer the best you can likely do is offer a good ear and give them a couple of ideas as to what they may be able to do. But remember, it is entirely up to them to do it. Okay, you don't have control over that side of it. Now, when we look at Libra, Libra is showing the Lover's card inverted. Okay, this is showing a definitive focus on the material world. This is a good thing for you. Okay, because it gives you the opportunity to step into the spotlight and really claim power over your life, which is really what you're aiming for in the long run. Well, even in the short run in most cases. Scorpio, we are looking at the Ten of Cups inverted. Okay, now the nice thing with the Ten of Cups, my apologies, that would be the King. Okay, the King of Cups inverted does indicate that emotions may be a little bit on the up and down side. Okay, but let's face it, you're used to that. Do focus when you're finding that your emotions are getting a little out of hand. Okay, it may be time to really take a step back and just breathe for a minute before confronting the complication. Okay, now Sagittarius is showing the Five of Wands inverted. Okay, showing the end of a struggle. So this week is likely going to bring celebration as well for the end of the week, for the coming weekend. Okay, more specifically, of course, the reason I'm looking up there, by the way, is I've got a spare monitor up here so I can keep an eye on what I'm doing. This will be likely 27th to the 29th. There's likely to be a little bit of a celebration happening based on the idea that the stress level is dropping. Now, Capricorn, we have the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups does indicate that emotions are going to be running high. This is a good thing, especially with the celebration coming up at the end of the week for you. Okay, it does show a lot of things getting finally brought back into balance, where, surprisingly enough for you, you may just find you're able to relax. This would be a good time to get together with friends that you haven't seen in a while and sit down and relax with them. Okay. Now, don't get carried away. Remember a very important factor. If you've been dealing with emotional conflict lately, alcohol is not a good way to relax, because alcohol in and of itself simply knocks out trained and learned inhibitors. meaning your self-control, your coping mechanisms, all of that gets pushed aside. Coffee, on the other hand, they call it a stimulant. I don't know the medical side of it. I know I relax when I have coffee. Now, Aquarius. Okay, this is showing people are going to be pulled towards you. You're being moved into a leadership position by circumstance, not necessarily an actual promotion, but it does show that people are going to be turning to you for answers. You don't have to have all the absolute answers. The trick is to give people some sort of an idea of what they may be able to do. You may be feeling that you really don't have that much input into it. Okay, Pisces. Now, Pisces has the King of Swords. This is showing a definitive issue on your part of finally being able to take control of what's going on with your life, of really stepping into the spotlight and saying, hey, this is what I desire, this is what I'm aiming for. Okay, and have people actually listen. The neat part about the King of Swords is it does indicate an enhanced ability where it comes to diplomacy. Some people would call it tact. I'm not sure which one is more appropriate, but what the heck. Now, as we did at the beginning of the display here forecast, we were looking at the overall, and this is showing the Justice card. That means as the truth comes to the surface, especially under the influence of the new moon, the truth is going to come out. So whatever you're up to, whether it's a positive thing, whether it's a negative thing, understand it's getting amplified. For obvious reasons, we really do recommend, that you focus on the positive side because you don't want the negative ones to be amplified. Or at least I know I don't. Okay, so with this in mind, we're going to wrap this one up. We keep these short for a reason. Okay. That said, take care of yourselves until we meet again. And for pity's sakes, stay positive.